Welcome to the Marble Sports Worldwide Podcast, where we discuss and analyze your favorite marble sports. From JMR Marble League to I'll Go Do tournaments, we'll make sure you never miss the action. All marble sports, all the time, right here on the MSW Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Marble Sports Worldwide Podcast. My name is Brendan.
And I'm Commander Wolf.
And I'm Wolves.
He is Wolves, and we're so glad to have Wolves back. He was unfortunately not able to make it to
I know,
the
I was so
previous
sad.
half-host episode.
I was like, I'm not going to make it.
I was even sadder.
You even sadder?
That's all you say. You're just like, I'm not going to make it.
I just left you two alone to talk to each other.
Oh, that's always a great idea, isn't it?
I mean, it worked out that time.
Yeah, we actually had a great discussion. It was kind of like old times, you know, back
in the old days.
The olden days.
Oh, jinx.
Yeah, like
I said ye olden.
You said old days.
I still remember.
I said, yeah, so we're not just yet.
I almost got a free soda.
Oh, we're really diving into that calamity there. I still remember episode 6, which was the first time I had Waff on, and we just it was so new, right? The whole Marble Sports thing. So discussing Marble Sports, who does that, right? It was new, so we just went on and on and on, and we were just talking over each other. It was crazy. It was the most excited I've ever seen two people about Marble Sports before. It was crazy. It was really you guys should go back and listen. I think it was episode 6. It might have been episode 5, but I think it was episode 6. And we were talking about something with Marble Olympics, of course, 2019.
It was the whole thing with the relay race with the Midnight Wisps.
Oh, that was a beautiful beginning. Yeah.
Although, just a warning for our fans who haven't seen it yet, you'll want to turn your volume down because we did not do it very professionally. My mic in particular was, I think it was my. I don't even know what mic I did use.
I was still going headphone mics then.
It peaked a lot, and so it's gonna hurt your ears if it's too high.
Indeed.
So did Brendan just talk to himself before Waff came?
Yeah.
Well, the first episode, I think the first 2 he did, but then he got a few. I think he got some guests before me.
Yeah. See, the thing is, first episode, I wasn't very good. So I just kind of talked, and it was almost, I was kind of half podcasting, half giving the facts of what already happened. You know, you could have just watched the video to see what I was talking about instead of just letting me say it. But, that was the only one I can remember this day that I did by myself. After that, I always found a guest every week because I kind of was... And the only reason I really found a guest every week, really went out of my way to find a guest for the first 6 to 8 episodes, was because I was so inexperienced and worried about my inexperience. I was like, oh my god, I need somebody else on here to just balance this out. I could easily, at this point, you might guess, I could easily do one on my own right now and just ramble about.
You could rant for hours, dude.
Think about it. When I'm in the MSWP live chat and we're getting ready for the podcast, you guys all join, but you guys are muted, so you can't talk to me. You just kind of are there. So I say hello, and then you guys don't say anything back because you're muted. Haha, see what I did? You're muted. And then I just start talking about shit. And literally, it's just a half hour of me just saying things. And yeah, you guys are there muted, but isn't that the same thing as me just recording something on my own and sending it to you?
We just let you go and just do whatever. We let you spend some of your energy before the podcast.
Yeah, release. It's a release of energy. You know, it's probably not helping that I'm drinking this sugary soda. Dr. Pepper this time, by the way.
I don't drink soda.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I was never really introduced to it as a kid. I was just oh, milk? I guess I'll be having that for the rest of my life. I'm
do you drink Cravendale?
I do not drink Cravendale.
Or I drank soda with it.
But it lasts so long. It lasts for 7 days.
I should get some then.
Yeah. And you can hold it for 7 days, and then it will be.
But yeah, as a kid, I knew soda existed, but once I eventually tried it, I think it was 7 or 8. I hated the fizz, so I just backed away from it entirely. I do like apple juice though. Apple juice is GOAT for me.
You know what sucks though? Seltzer. You ever had seltzer?
No.
oh, I can't stand that. Like I've tried to drink it with so many different mindsets. Like I've tried to drink it with the mindset of, oh, I want this to taste good. And then I was older, I was like, okay, let's drink it with the mindset, kind of like the mindset you do if you drink like an adult drink. You know what I mean? You know, I try to drink it with the sense of like, oh, this is not supposed to taste good, but it's supposed to be like,
like the older it is, the better it is.
Acquired taste, or something like that. And I just never, no matter how I went into the drink, I just couldn't enjoy it. Seltzer is so bad. I don't know why. It's just water. It's just water, right?
Just water?
But no, it's just... Well, it is water. It's water, but then, like, they put the carbonation in it.
I hate Fiji water. Like, your seltzer's, like, to me, it's Fiji. The bottle's pretty cool.
Fiji, isn't that, like, supposed to be the good water?
Yeah, it's supposed to be, like, the fresh, clean, like, perfect water, like, of a utopian style. But for me, I don't like it too much.
The volcano, under the lava.
Under the magma. But the bottle, I have to admit, is pretty cool. The bottles are okay, but I like their design. But I just don't like the water for some reason. I drink a lot of Dasani and Arrowhead.
Oh yeah, Dasani, yeah. I've
that
had
stuff's
that.
pretty
and
good.
Also, you know what the best water is though? The best water. I'm telling you right now, the best.
Spill the tea,
water.
dude.
All right, this is not about marbles, but it's fine. Best water out there, Crystal Geyser water. Oh my god, it feels like a nice, like a throat coat.
A throat coat.
Almost like drinking tea, but it's water. It goes down so smooth. I don't know how to describe it. Just try it. If you live in America, you might have even had it, and it's more out west. I noticed. Like it's called like, I think Crystal Geyser water or like Rock Sand Mountain water or something like that. Those waters, just to me, like compared to something like Poland Spring, which is like a classic brand, it just goes down so much smoother.
That should be their slogan.
They're harder to find.
A coat for your throat.
Yeah, but that's like so many tea.
Wait,
teas.
I was reading something. What?
Brendan started talking about water, like having this kind of special water that was like a coat for your throat.
No, I'm just,
I'm trying to figure out how does that relate to water.
I don't know.
No, I'm just saying like this is a really good
Like,
type
it comes
of water.
down
I've had.
easily.
It was just a really good water. It's just so smooth going down the throat. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Well,
I'll try it. See if I can get my hands on some.
Absolutely. Water's different. You tell me water's not. Listen, you know what? That's enough. We're like at 7:30, 40 seconds
Yeah, like
here.
7:40.
And we need to go to Johnny Marble. He is getting anxious. He's getting anxious. I can feel him all the way over in Texas, getting anxious. Does he live there? I don't know.
Just like guess a random
Trying to do
state.
the news. No, I thought it was Texas though. I'm pretty like if I had to guess a state.
If you had to guess.
If I had to guess a state. If I had to, I would go Texas. Okay.
Why Texas?
Do we really have to get upset about this? Because I think that I remember he said that he lives in Texas, and also his accent sounds like it's a little bit down there.
Like a southern accent?
I have an accent. I can never tell.
Well, you have the accent a little bit, but you're more like Waff, so you don't have as much of the accent.
I pick up on certain accents, but for me, I'm kind of in like a middle zone because my dad lived in Texas for like a very long time. Still, I picked up not the accent, but a lot of the lingo they say. Like I say y'all, and people tease me for it. Like, what'd you just say?
I say that
y'all.
here and there, yeah.
So feel like
You
you're
slip it
in
in
honors
there, yeah.
language arts. Why are you saying y'all? Be like, I like it.
Yeah, I was in honors English, and I don't speak right. I
Some
mean,
conversations.
honors
Yeah,
English
sure.
is really just if you're smart enough
I
to
put y'all in my writing.
drag yourself
like,
through it.
that's how much I use it.
Same.
Oh, I don't do that. I didn't put in the writing, but like when I'm talking, I do not talk. I do the thing where I say good instead of well, all the time.
Well, I say good instead of
like
well.
really badly.
I don't think that's a lingo.
But most people do that. No, it's not. No. I'm just talking about you're talking about English, like being in English and then like saying the wrong words.
English is hard,
well, yeah,
man.
I'm like I took. English is so boring,
Weird.
really. Except for the class I had this past semester before school ended, detective fiction. That one was quite a lot of fun. And I even wrote my own detective story. It was maximum 2 pages. I did 6 pages. No, it was minimum 2 pages. I did 6 pages. I was a really good
You should
story.
put that on your resume. Wrote a mystery book.
Wrote 6
Wrote
pages.
6 pages.
Yeah, fortunately, I do have better things to put on my resume. But enough of that. We'll talk about that later. Let's get to Johnny
all right.
Marble. He wants to roll along with this podcast. I'll see what you did there, Ricochet. Shit. Johnny Marble, we'll get into you.
Hello, Marble Sports fans! I am Johnny Marble, and as always, I'm coming to you for MSW. So let's jump right into it. Event number 4 of last Marble Standing, Collision, was truly incredible as it made history during the finals. The Freshers and Milky Madness gave it their all, resulting in 2 ties in the first ever one-on-one Marble Collision. But in the end, the Freshers won and took home the gold, followed by Milky Madness taking silver in second, and Dairy Dash coming home with the bronze. Next up is another event of last Marble Standing, block pushing. This event was equally as exciting as the Freshers had a tough time in their second heat, with a member flying off the track not once, not 3 times, but twice. Even after they managed to get a clean run, they ultimately ended up in 5th. On a lighter note, the winners are once again Grays of Glory, followed by the Semi-Skimmers in second and Team Purity in third. Only one event remains with the Marble League qualifiers and Glasscar just on the horizon. The hype train is racing, full steam ahead, so get on board or get left behind. Well guys, I've been Johnny Marble, you have been the best fans in the world. Let's kick it back and continue on with the podcast.
All right, welcome back from the news, everybody. Thank you, Johnny Marble, for being a great news anchor as usual. A lot of interesting stuff going on in the Marble sports community. And as always, we enjoyed another event from the Craven Dome. Greg, point I wanted to make about Greg. I was saying this off recording, but I remembered it now for the regular recording. If you really, in my opinion, if you really look closely or listen closely to this previous video, it did seem like the stuff he was saying was very, almost too perfectly lined up with when the animations were pop up. So I'm just saying, I know he said that he usually does the commentary without watching it first, but there's a possibility, maybe just for this event, or maybe just he does it for the parts when the marbles aren't rolling, but there's a possibility that some of the video is a little bit scripted, because it just seemed that he would say things and the animations would come up at perfect timing, you know? So...
I mean, there's always a possibility that a recording didn't go well and they have to redo it. Mm-hmm. And also, since this one is a sponsored one, maybe Cravendale wanted some more, I guess, a specific type of... I don't know if it would be weird for them to request a scripted commentary, though, so... I don't remember anything sticking out to me personally, but then again, the Cravendale, I don't pay as much attention as I watch the Cravendale ones, admittedly. So, is it possible that he maybe had to redo a line or like this for this one, maybe? And so but I can't tell, or maybe it was just a perfect happy coincidence that it ended
that would be crazy. Like he would be. That's flawless work if that was just happened to happen. Because it was incredible, like how he would say something, and it was just perfect timing.
Our live chat mentioned something. What if Greg reacts to the Raw videos and they edit the graphics around this commentary?
That's true.
I mean, that's possible, I suppose. But then you look at like something like the Marble League and stuff, where like his words continue seamlessly into the next heats. And it seems very impossible for it to be that to be natural.
And it would be very, very awkward if they edited the raw video down to a non-graphic, perfectly edited video, had him record, and then sent it back to then do the graphics. That would have been kind of weird.
Well, I think what it means by raw video, he literally send like the video as recorded.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but that would be also even weirder because it would be so much gap.
It wouldn't have the other views though. It wouldn't have like the alternate camera views and stuff. So I think what's more likely is that they do send the actual fully edited video to him. At least maybe the intro and outro footage, like graphics, just to give him like so it's timed with it.
Well, here's what I think. I think what he's doing, if I had to make a guess, if I had to, I would say that he scripts or loosely scripts the non-actual marble parts, like the beginning and the ending, where all the logos or flash around the screen for like a full 5 minutes, and he kind of, because if you notice, like at the beginning of the event, it's almost like he weaves some perfectly scripted story of like where like he happens to say things and things pop up when he happens to say them, and then like he just happens to wrap up the story and the marbles happen to begin right there. I don't know. It just seems like at least the intro thing where Greg kind of draws you in is it might be a little bit scripted or timed.
I mean, I can see that since something's happening, that isn't maybe coming up with stuff, but at the same time, he's been doing this for over 4 years now, so it's probably natural to him at this point.
Yeah. Well, absolutely, that's true. Like, his experience is incredible, so... Yeah,
by the way, Wolves, are you still alive?
I'm lost.
We're just talking about Greg, man. Do you know Greg?
I know Greg Woods, but...
Who's Greg?
I'm confused about what you're talking about, because, like, I was working on something just to, like, make sure everything was, like, finished and working perfectly for the podcast, and then I just heard Greg in conversation. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll start listening, and I never picked up.
You never... Oh, we were just talking about his commentary, like, how it seemed just so perfectly timed.
Yeah, I do think there's a lot of...
Unlike your responses.
Unlike my responses. But I've been watching it ever since 2017, and I'm not completely sure if he was there from the very beginning. I think he might have been, but I do notice the difference. I noticed like maybe like a month or two back, like how much he's changed, because he's been doing this for a long time now, and it's interesting to see how his career in Yellow's community has grown to commentating different kinds of marble sports like Sand Marble Rally, the Marble League, and like Marble Olympics, the Craven Cup, Marble E, Marble 1, and all these different things. And it's really cool because like I've seen him interviewed on different places, like specifically like on news sites, and
also
it's
this
cool
podcast.
to see. And it's cool to hear what he's saying because he's pretty much the only one who's ever commentated for Yellow. So it's cool to see what he's going through when having to do all this. What he thinks of the channel. It was fun when we got to talk to him on the podcast because it's not very often that we get somebody from the community come and talk to us, let alone Greg Woods, which is just amazing. And I love his commentary, especially how professional it is. His voice just matches perfectly with when he's commentating certain parts of it, and it's flawless.
Yeah, I don't know. He just has a way about it that's just... It's just
he has this vibe.
I don't know how to explain it. I mean, commentary for JMR. It's that's my dream job per se. Right? Obviously, it's not a job. I don't think you can get a full-time job doing that. I'm sure the payment is not as such. But I'm just saying, like, that's something I'd always want to do, right? But and Greg obviously someday will probably retire or whatever. But I just feel like, how can you follow that? How? Like, I do commentary, but, like, I'm not able to, maybe just because I don't have enough experience yet, but I'm not able to weave a story like he does and really draw you in, and, like, every word seems to be the perfect word in the situation. It's really incredible how good he is at commentary. And, like, experience is one thing. Sorry. Wow, it's just all coming right now. But, he just has absolute talent for it. So, I mean, man, there will be turmoil when Greg, if Greg ever stops doing commentary for JMR, because how can you follow that? How?
Yeah, commentary is a special. Yeah, commentary is a very special thing in the community because it's not a talent that everyone possesses. Because one, you really need to have really good eye coordination with what's going on, where it's happening, and to find the words and what you need to say at the exact time that it's happening is something very important to commentating. And being a commentator for any sport in general can either be the best job or the worst job because of how complicated the sport is, how often like crazy things come up. Because if you look at baseball, like a lot of the times when they're commentating, they're saying what's happening, what might be going through the players' minds, and like what's currently in the setting, almost as if like they're on a radio having to tell somebody what's going on as if they couldn't see. But if you're in
some commentators are radio commentators and they have to do exactly that.
But if you're like in Formula E or Formula 1, where sometimes there's almost nothing to say at all, but then there's like a huge pass or like someone's car breaks down, and they have to turn into this huge thing to keep the readers or listeners engaged. And it's especially important in marble sports because it's basically just marbles racing around a track or doing special events, and basically, you have to keep the person engaged. And if you have that ability to keep someone engaged in something like this, that's an extremely special skill that you have possessed.
Yeah.
Someone from our live chat also mentioned that you also shouldn't just tell the audience what's happening because, aside from the visually impaired, they know what's going on.
All right, Waff.
So he kind of adds flavor text, flavor text, like he's kind of trying to edge them out, maybe trying to gauge the distance between the two of them, as they're racing side by side. It's like adding little flavor text and little personality to what's going on.
Flavor and tone is everything in commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, and he does do that too. He's always very masterful at when he, first of all, which marble he decides to pretend to know the intentions of, which prediction he'll throw down. He just always so good at doing at the right timing with that. And, sometimes, and you'll notice if you look closely, sometimes he'll predict something and it doesn't work out. But that's okay, because he also has that genuine attitude of oh, it didn't work out. Look at that. Look at that. What's going on? It's surprising, right? And it's almost like, when it works out, it's like, oh my God, he was right. Look at that. It's happening. And when it doesn't work out, it's like, oh my God, look at this surprising occurrence going on in the field that not even the commentator could have predicted. So it's just really good practice to be able to not just say, oh, this marble's rolling here, look at that, over here, now over here, but also looks like this marble might be making a run for the top, and then all of a sudden you direct your attention over there, you're looking at it, and then for the next minute you're like, oh, is that prediction coming true? What's going to happen? And then you really get drawn in because you subconsciously you just want to see what's going to happen. You have to know. And it's just it's great work. It really is great work. That is the reason that JMR is so successful. All editing aside, all of that aside, the commentary is 100% the clinching factor of why JMR is so awesome to watch. If there was no commentary, I don't care how much editing there was, I would not watch it. In JMR in its current state right now, without commentary, boring, absolutely one of the most boring things. One of the most whitewashed tombs without commentary, if you know what I mean.
As someone who enjoyed marble racing before commentary was even a thing, besides that text commentary that some Algodo creators would do,
text
commentary, I would say that this is above and beyond what everyone else would do. So I would still say this is entertaining. It just wouldn't be the phenomenon it is.
No, and it would only appeal to certain people in certain places at certain times too, But, for me especially, and I think for a lot of people who are more drawn to the whole mystery of the sport, it's just without the commentary, there's just no excitement. It's just hard. It's hard to really get excited over something that's so actually tame without somebody really hyping it up and kind of weaving that story for you. There are not many events. There are not many races that I would be able to watch Marble Sports wise without a commentator. That's why I don't watch M&H and those channels, because those commentators aren't that good. And then you get to the lower channels and and some of them don't have commentary at all. And it's just hard to get as excited and interested at it. What?
And you're right. It's because for Marble Sports, it's all just luck of the draw. Some marbles do have either better luck or just the kind of marble they are might make them perform a bit better. You can see that with Savage Speeders especially. I don't know how they do so good, but it's another thing for where was I going with this? Oh yeah, because for Savage Speeders, they're not always going to be great because it's just kind of luck. So you know what? I totally forgot what I was going to say.
You made at least a half big point, right?
I made a half a big point.
Maybe
I'll come back later.
Luck. It's luck. So it's not. I don't know. It's not like watching something like a football game silent. If you watch a football game silent, you can still kind of get into it because the game is so complex in it of itself that it's like, wow. I don't even care that if there's no one talking in the background. I just want to kind of be able to decipher what's going on, right? You watch something like that. You watch a video game, a more complex video game, and you turn off the commentary or you turn off the sound and stuff because you're just, I don't know, maybe you're in class and you're not supposed to be doing that, but you just want to watch a video game. You can get entertained in that with the volume off because it's there is so much complexity in the visuals that there's not much need for the commentary always. When you talk about something, wow, I just noticed how messy my hair is on camera. Sorry about that, guys. But when you talk about something like Marble Sports, that is simplistic and interesting to watch, it's just not. Sorry, it's not interesting without the commentary. Absolutely, like just not interesting without someone really providing that interesting factor.
Yeah,
and kind of almost, very masterfully directing you where you should be looking, why you should be looking there, what you should be thinking about as these marbles race, giving these marbles life and character. When a commentator calls like a team a fan favorite or something like that, that's just a small way that the commentator is trying to engage the audience. So I don't know. The importance of it is unbelievable. Without Greg, JMR would not have succeeded to the ends it has today.
Yeah, because what you were saying earlier, like how, not the quality, but like there's no commentary with like other Marvel channels that like don't have it or like aren't as big and they don't have commentary. I think right now with where JMR right now is with Greg Woods always commentating, it's one of those things where once you don't hear it anymore, like let's just say like one day, one of the episodes or races, Greg Woods wasn't commentating, because you notice it immediately. It's like playing a game, but this time you have it's muted. It doesn't feel the same at all.
Yeah.
It's a completely different feel. Because, like what I was saying earlier, tone and how you say things and your excitement, but it's also just talking in general, because if you know that someone's talking and like saying in front of you, it's something about it makes it more engaging, especially with Greg Woods and how he talks and with his voice. It just wouldn't be the same, because you notice like, oh, you're just watching it, it's doing this. But when he's telling you something that's going to happen or what he thinks is going to happen, it's like having another person there with you, like watching it with you and like with them opening their ideas and you just think in your head like what's going to happen. But it feels more mutual, like, oh yeah, we're watching with Greg Woods because he's commentating for us. And that's another huge thing of why they're such a big channel, because with smaller channels, let's just say, because from the very beginning, like Algodo races where like it was just a bunch of different colored spheres or just like 2D
Colored
spheres.
balls.
Colored balls! Yeah, I want to avoid saying that. But they would just run down this random track. Sometimes it was like pretty much an obstacle course. They would have the most like cheesy, sketchy music in the background. It's just like, and that was not engaging at all. And some Marble channels stepped it up with a little bit more intense music or music that was different in the community. But you see just like the basic ones where it's just like cheesy music that you hear all the time, and it's not engaging at all.
No, never. Stop! I don't want to hear Windfall. I hate that song. I'm sick of that song. That song is overused.
And that's the thing. You get sick of the song once you hear it so many times in the Algodo channels, and that's what makes JMR so different.
Songs, though. I did discover Dim Rain 47 through some of that stuff. Like,
Dim Rain 47 is beautiful.
I think your point about like kind of watching it with somebody, like that was an interesting point. Like one of my favorite series that don't exist anymore, that never even really got finished, was Tour de Marble by Jack Spiro. Like Jack Spiro and John Dubuck did like commentary over it, and like it was more like parody commentary stuff. But like it was like two people bouncing off each other, and so it felt like you felt like you're kind of like watching it with someone at the same time. And like and that's kind of, and I never really thought about it, but yeah, a lot of what Greg Woods like adds, it's kind of like you're there, like, because a lot of times I notice there are things in life and like other videos and shows and movies, but that realize that this really would have been more enjoyable if I had someone to watch it with, and like, because like I don't know about you, but I found times like things are like, sometimes more exciting or even more funny when you have someone there to also share your reaction with, and so I feel like certain aspects of the Marble League probably wouldn't be as fun, intense, and even sometimes funny if not for Greg Woods to kind of act like you're little, like someone who's there with you as it happens, you know?
Yeah, that might be another reason why like reaction channels are so big, because you feel like it's happening with you, because it's not every day that or ever that you like run into some JMR fan like out in the wild, especially now. So it's cool when you actually have somebody with you. Like I've seen families on Reddit or just like the Twitter page where like their whole family's into it and like they all watch it. That is such a special thing because it almost never happens. That would be so cool.
That's the family we all wish for.
Yeah, I feel like I could part of me feels like maybe if I try to get my family into this stuff, that some of them would join, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to tell them.
My whole family just thinks I'm a nerd.
Do they not know? Do they not know about Marble sports? You're sitting there podcasting.
You gotta advertise Marble sports.
Wait. My dad knows that we do a podcast. I mean, I don't think he knows about what. I have the MSPN Marble Mayhem poster, and my two of my brothers know about it, but they don't question it. I'm pretty sure they've seen the marbles on my desk. I think, and I imagine they've probably heard me screaming about marbles as I walk past my door sometimes. So I'm sure they know that.
Probably heard me through your headphones screaming about
them. They've seen my MSPN shirt. They've seen my Team Momo shirt. I feel like they should have, if they haven't already pieced it together, I think it's more their fault, but like, I don't know. It's a weird conversation. Like, hey, wanna watch these marbles run down a ramp?
No, but like, see, it's more than that. It's more than that, Waff. You of all people,
no, I know, I
should know that.
Trying to convince them to watch it is hard. It's hard to explain it, and like, no, it's really good. Like,
no, wait, it's more. Okay,
we promise it's not just marbles.
There's a 35-year-old guy talking about it. I don't know how old Greg is. He sounds like he's probably in his 30s though.
You should convince them with like the 1 million subscribers on the channel.
Oh yeah.
I'd have to figure out what event to show them. I think I might show them like Fidget Spinner Collision just because that's the most intense one.
That's one of my favorites too. It's one of my favorites. That to me so far was the peak of JMR. That event. I love that event. I love 2017. Yeah.
And it's not necessarily because of the event itself. It's like what incidentally ended up happening. And there's a lot of the events in any marble sports. Like it's gonna be good or bad, but based solely on chance on how it all ends up being executed. Like we'll talk about the most recent last Marble Standing event, but like, that kind of happened. That towards the end that made it stand out.
And here's the thing. I really hope that in this year's Marble League, there are some new out-of-the-box things. Because if we don't go out of the box this year, then we're really kind of trying to stretch out the same stuff again. I think that we need to keep it fresh. So I'm hoping that there are new events this year. There are events that are altered to kind of stretch the boundaries, push it. I think the fidget spinner thing, even though the fidget spinners are like a stupid trend and, 5-year-olds and their spinners, it was a great like way to go outside the box to kind of build on the collision from the previous year. And I don't know. All I'm saying is I'm really hoping that this year it continues to grow, because if we have just the same events as last year, but oh wow, look, the logos fly around the screen at the beginning, I'm not going to be impressed with that. All right, I can see past that bullshit. All right, absolutely, and I want to see some better. The events are not are really good as they are already, but I want to see it continue to build. So I'm really hoping that there are either some new events this year, or some of the older events are altered or changed or added a little more depth to them, so it's like always new. I think one of the things that besides kind of in tandem, always get that wrong, tandem with the commentary, is the fact that the events and getting changed up. And that's why Marble Olympics, especially at its beginning, was such a hit, because it wasn't just racing. It was really different stuff over and over.
Right.
And that's why, Sand Marble Rally is not as popular, because it's kind of the same thing. And Marbula 1 was a little bit kind of like a Sand Marble Rally, but updated, but it was just, I don't know, in my opinion, changing it up event to event, and then changing those events yearly, making them a little bit better. The collision got fidget spinners, then next year it got like ball bearings, or 2 years from then. That stuff is awesome.
JMR being able to change like what they do, especially Marble Olympics, has the most freedom to change with their events that they're hosting. Mm-hmm. That's probably why it's the most popular. Marbula 1 was popular because it was really new, as well as Marbula E. And like you said, with Sand Marble Rally, it's the exact same thing with them running down the sand. And I've seen, like, kids do that. So it's like, why don't I just do that at the beach whenever I want to, if you live close to a beach? But for other things...
Well, you're not a lot there.
but if it's Marble Olympics, there's a lot more opportunity to, like, change different things, and have a lot more lore to it. Because, like, you don't see like marbles getting hurt, or like someone running out to the stands a lot. That doesn't happen in Sand Marble Rally, but it does sometimes in Marbula 1, or sometimes it will happen in Marble Olympics. And those factors that make it real, or make it interesting and engaging with the commentary, like we were talking about before, and just it being able to change and be flexible, those are some of the main components to why those series are the most popular in JMR.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that point. Absolutely. I'm doing the waff thing.
It's from your regular show.
Hello,
It's just
everybody,
like,
and welcome to the podcast,
Sports podcast.
where we rate things based on the level of
We're just all villagers now. Just all Minecraft villagers.
No Minecraft here.
No Minecraft.
Minecraft will not be found here. You know what I will say though? I know for some reason everybody loves Minecraft. I just could never get into it. I don't know. Take me all you want, but I just never really got into I know it's like even people who don't really play the game a ton are like, oh, you have to love it. Never
You
got
don't
into it.
have
Anyway,
to love every game. Like, people have
No, you don't have
preferences.
to.
I think
We
it was just
also
like the original
have
popularity that got people into
to go to the trivia segment. We are about 24 minutes in, guys, and we're definitely going to come back from the trivia segment and talk about the collision from the Craven Cup situation, Craven Dome situation.
Craven Dome.
And we will
Milk
touch
Cup.
a little bit on the Fubeca Glasscar preview that came out. If you watched it, if you didn't, well, we'll touch on it anyway. So that's the plan. So let's go to the trivia segment. Cue that music that...
Now it's time for the trivia segment. Come on now, let's go, go, go. Go, go, go.
All right, we're in the trivia
All right.
segment.
All right, cool. Who will be the first to sacrifice their answer with a question?
I shall.
You shall
I
be
shall.
sacrificed first.
Yes.
I'm excited for WAF.
So I'm going to pull from the incredible Marble League Facts Instagram.
Yes, Marble League facts.
I do not follow that, so I'm probably going to be screwed.
Follow that, by the way. He posts facts, and they're true.
I
because
don't
they're
really
facts.
do social media. Like, the only things I have are, like, Reddit and Discord. Everything else is just, like, nada. Because
I
it's,
feel
like,
that.
a
I
huge
feel that.
fear of mine to, like, say something stupid, and then, like, it ruined my
And
chances
then
of
20
getting
years
into a
later,
college.
you're about to land a big job, and they're like,
Yeah.
well, you said
Remember
this
that one
slightly
thing you said
off-color
in
thing.
freshman year? Yeah, we're not hiring you
No,
for
but see,
that.
that's ridiculous. In my opinion, that's ridiculous. That stuff's happening all the time. You know, people said
Yeah.
said something on social media in, like, you know, 10th grade.
But that's, like, an
and now they're
overwhelming
trying to get
fear
a
for
job
me,
and
so
they're
I just, like,
40,
stay away
and they're
from
bringing
it.
that bullshit up. Don't get me started on that. I'm I hate those stories, you know, and all the BS that goes on with that. Anyway, plow ahead with the marbles.
All right, so which race
Or should I say
from
roll
the
ahead?
San Marble Rally has the most DNFs in a single race? So that's
Which-
what year?
what
Which
year?
race from what year? Which race from what year has the
Whoa,
most
dude,
DNFs?
that's a lot
Oh my God.
of
I know.
races.
Dude, okay.
Oh my.
2018 race 3. That's my guess. There's
I know
nothing
it's gonna
behind
be
it.
like. I know that the answer to this. I'm just gonna bring you guys through my logic here, even if
Okay.
it's wrong. I feel the answer to this is either going to be 2019 because of how there was a couple of races there that really had like 3, 4, or 5 DNFs. It was crazy because some of them really got caught. Or it's going to be from the very beginning of San Marble Rally because usually when people begin things, it's not as well laid out. So like, it's just not going to be as working as well.
I don't know.
You know, 'cause things
2017
always
wasn't very
progress.
distinctive to me. So
It began in like 2014, the whole San Marble Rally thing. I think.
2014, really? I thought it started in 2016.
2016. I don't know. No, but I think there were some one-off races beforehand. He was doing some
Maybe.
stuff before 2016.
who knows?
But I would say I'll go 2016 race 1.
All right.
Very beginning.
This isn't like a part of this, but I want you to throw out a guess. How many DNFs were in that race?
Ugh.
6.
Oh my god. For me, I'm gonna guess
6.
5.
You know.
Oh wait,
All
no,
right, so-
7. I'm gonna guess 7.
Okay. So, let me take the chat, make sure no one's answered. Okay. So, the answer is the 5th race of 2016, and the number DNFs was 12.
Oh my
Wow,
god.
12.
Yeah.
That must have been a tough race. I figured it might have been 2016 though, for the
Yeah.
reasoning I provided, but I guess it wasn't the first.
Another part of reasoning that I would have used was like that's also when they had the most amount of marbles racing at once. and
That's
so
100%
that's,
a fact.
which
There
makes
was
it,
no thought behind my answer. It was just completely random. Be like,
No,
maybe
yeah.
this works out of the.
If
I
you
don't
had gotten
know.
that right out of randomness, that would have been big money.
I would have felt like people would have thought, "Oh, you cheated," and I would be like,
Oh,
"No,
you
I'm
cheated."
just stupid and I guessed."
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, sure, you don't follow the Marble League Facts Instagram.
I have Instagram, but I never
I do
use
follow
it.
that, but I don't
Same,
remember
I don't
the
use it either. I just like I have a few channels or
Yeah, I have Twitter,
People
but
I
I don't
follow?
use it.
basically me too.
I'm a little more active on it, but not really. Like I use them, but not often. You know, like I'm like I'm not like one of those idiots who like send like streaks. I don't know. Some people who are like my age probably get this. Like you like on Snapchat, you send like I don't understand that. I don't understand that. If I'm not gonna send streaks to somebody. If I'm gonna talk to somebody, I'm gonna talk to them. If I'm not gonna talk to them, I'm not gonna talk to them. I'm not gonna try to connect with them by sending a black screen on Snapchat. That's ridiculous.
Brendan?
Yeah.
I don't think you've been ignoring the chat, but we can't hear you on YouTube apparently.
Oh, what? You can't?
Nope.
Oh, I think I know why.
That was very close to the mic.
Wolves, ask your question. I'll fix this.
All right, for my question, let me just pull it up real quick. All right, so this is for the Cravendale Cup, or Cravendale, whatever.
Last marble
Cravendale
standing.
stuff, indeed, last marble standing. So hope y'all been paying attention. So currently,
Wow, and 4
since the Collision event, Grays of Glory is in first, but they dropped to second in one of the events that they had played in, one of the 4 events. So which one is it? I'll give you the answers you can have. Either funnel spin, long jump, balancing, or collision.
Wow, the 4 event happened to be the 4 entry choices of the 4 events that have happened so far.
Indeed.
I would say event 2, just because that was an event that they didn't.
So you're saying
win.
that the Grays of Glory has always been in first place, but for one event they were in second. So I think
Yes.
that was, if I remember correctly,
Event 2 was balancing, right?
Yes.
it was balancing.
So
Yeah, it was balancing.
Yeah, I'm going with balancing.
Yeah.
The answer was long jump. No, I'm kidding.
What?
It's balancing.
What?
It's balancing. I lied.
No, it's not. Oh, you can hear me on the YouTube now, right, guys? I fixed it.
Oh, let me
I'm
check.
not on the YouTube. Dang, you guys are too smart.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
I can
where
hear you.
are the Marble
All my
Sports
answers are random.
connoisseurs? All right. I'm really surprised that 4 people sat here and watched the YouTube as they heard no sound coming out of my mouth for the last hour or something.
I've had that happen with Sman going on with us, like when
Some man.
I accidentally call him S-Man
Sman.
sometimes, but he was
You
on the
accidentally
podcast.
call him by his correct pronunciation.
S-Man. That's what I say sometimes. But we were on a podcast with him, and it was 4 people, and it was probably my computer just
podcast?
being dumb because it's just a Chromebook. But for legit, the entire podcast, I couldn't hear a word he was saying, and I got by
Dude, that's
flawlessly.
hilarious. Flawless work. You should have said something though.
But
I don't want
I
to
knew we couldn't
interrupt the
fix it.
audio. With
Yeah,
like, hey, by the way, audio's not working on YouTube because I wanted to try and keep it seamless for our non-YouTube the people who aren't watching live chat, in the future. But whatever, that's out the window now.
Whatever.
No, yeah. Well, okay. I have a trivia question, but I don't have an answer.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Meaning that I have a great question, but I didn't like look up the answer to this yet. So I'm just gonna ask it, and then we're gonna go collectively find the answer together as a team.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So I want to know how many times during the collision event that we watched today, I watched it today, how many times where did a team actually keep all 5 marbles, all 5 glass spheres on the
Once.
board?
I'm gonna say once.
I think it was twice.
I think it was twice.
And we're going to find that out. How are we going to find that out? How? I guess YouTube. YouTube time. Oh, I just hit my mic. All right, so this is how the podcast works, guys. I'm going to on
You're gonna
live
go through
on
the
the
entire
podcast,
video.
go to the YouTube and find out the answer during the show, of course. I mean, why are we not doing during the show? You guys should be a part of all the podcast
Wait.
experience.
He's,
So I'm about to
Waff,
find out
he's
right
leaving us.
Oh, I think I know you're gonna like, scroll through the results of each race
now.
or event,
Ooh.
not race. I guess heat.
Well, I know in the first group there were none. There were no 5 situations.
Does the wiki have the answer?
The wiki.
Oh,
does
wait,
the wiki
I know the
update
answer.
That quickly? If the wiki's updating that quickly, somebody's
I
really
mean, the
on
event
top
was
of
4
it.
days ago.
I think I have it.
All right, well, tell
Not
me.
Sure. I'm not sure. If
Tell
I
me
have
the
it.
answer to my trivia question. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a weird one, but yeah, I'll do it. I'll see if I can. Collision.
Go on the fandom just to double check.
Oh, here we go. It has each group, I think, with each. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, Group A, Group
Alright,
B.
so Group A, 2 points to
Team Purity.
Isn't it just music to my ears to listen to them
Wait,
scramble
so-
to find the answer?
Oh, yeah, I think
played.
it's twice.
Well, name the two.
Dairy Dash and the Freshers.
Point.
Well, when did the freshers do it?
I think the final event for Group B. It was Freshers
not
and
true.
Grace of Glory.
I know the freshers it showed 5-4 at the end in the last one, and that's not true because it was a 5-4, but it wasn't actually. They didn't keep all
So
marbles
Dairy
on.
Dash against Grays of Glory 5-3, then Freshers against Grays of Glory 5-4.
Yeah,
for
Fire
groups
Marbles
A-
went.
for groups A and B.
Okay, so that's
That's
two.
two.
But the freshers
And-
5-4 at the end does not count
What do you mean?
because they in the final event there was a tie, so it repeated
No,
many
no, no.
times. They didn't keep
That's
five
for
marbles
Group
on the
B,
board.
Ren, like for the group races.
No, in the end, the third one you could say in the finals against Milky Madness. That doesn't.
Okay,
count.
well, it doesn't say that on the wiki. It was 3-3.
Oh, they don't
then
even
1-1,
mention the
and
Milky
1-0.
Madness in the final. Oh no, but on the video they said 5-4 against freshman against Milky
Brendan,
Madness.
this is why you
which I
get
didn't
your trivia
understand.
question
yeah.
before the
Wait,
podcast.
well, no.
Shh, you're not supposed to tell them, Wolves. This is a great question to spark thought
So it's
and
two,
discussion on the podcast.
got it.
Yeah, it's two. I guessed two, so I was correct. Thank you.
All right, so let's head on back from the trivia segment.
Yeah, play the music. Meow 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 meow. All right, enough of that. All right, come on. Has it played? You
Yeah,
probably-
yes.
Hopefully it's played.
Yeah. You just kind of shove it in between the two things there. Yep, that's how it works. Good.
Indeed.
That was the trivia segment. Now let's head back to the show. The show. Oh,
All right, we're back. So now that we just asked some questions about Cravendale, let's actually talk about the Cravendale Collision
Yes,
event.
indeed.
I always love the Collision event. I do want to point out that there was a difference between this Collision event and the Marble Olympics 2019 Collision event. Do you guys know? You guys remember what it was?
The difference
Yeah.
between
difference,
which two events?
Between the 2019 Marble Olympics Collision and the Cravendale Collision.
Ball bearings, maybe.
They seem smaller.
No, it was not smaller ball bearings. There
more
were a couple
marbles.
smaller ball bearings,
More
but there were
marbles.
two extra ball bearings in the middle.
Really?
Usually, it was just one big one in the middle, but it was two, a row of two on each side in the middle. So,
So there
little bit
was
of trivia
8
there.
in total.
oh, I should have asked that as my trivia. What was the difference between the two? Because you guys struggled with that.
Well, to
But
it
that-
now.
Yeah, the music already played. But yeah, that was a difference I want to note. It was I guess an interesting added difference. I honestly would like to see a different mechanic in the collision, like maybe something on the field, maybe right? Like,
Well,
and literally,
what do you think you could
it's-
add to that?
It's so simple. Not like a crazy complex thing on the field, but just maybe a couple blocks on the field in the corners to add a different type of play style. Maybe like a couple tiny diamond blocks kind of spaced out in the middle, but like not right in the middle, like spaced out in the center, but not in the middle. That the marbles would careen onto after colliding, and maybe even go on top of, and things like that.
What if the
just a
terrain
bunch-
that they would collide on would be different?
Oh yeah, maybe even a terrain change. Maybe a part of it being maybe a little more slippery, or maybe part of it being
sandpaper,
a little
maybe?
felt down, something like that. You could do anything, but I just think a little bit of a change up, kind of to increase the craziness of it. And I actually think that you could make a really cool change for the Andromedome Collision, which I'm assuming Collision's coming back. I mean, come on, it's Collision. I would love to see some sort of maybe space themed change to it, like maybe a couple like crater textures there that kind of can mess up the marbles as they collide. Maybe moon rock, something like that. Something to just kind of make the collision the same idea, but just a very slight addition to kind of just change up the possibilities of what.
Because
can
I think they should definitely change the aesthetic for the new host for Team Galactic. So the aesthetic should probably be different, like adding more stars or maybe a bit more purple, just to like make it fit. But
yeah,
like we were saying, maybe add terrain, maybe adding I don't know what you were saying, studs that would add it, maybe so it would stop the marbles. But there are a lot of things you could do to change it, because it's probably one of the most favorite events by far. I haven't checked, but I know they have like voting systems on the on the JMR fandom that shows like what's your favorite team or what's your favorite event. And if I had to guess, I think collisions would be pretty high up there. So like last time, or like maybe a few hosts ago, they added fidget spinners. This time they were adding ball bearings to the last marble standing. But what do you guys think else could be placed to make it a little bit more different?
I don't know. I mean, go ahead, Wolf.
I was thinking about, so I don't know if you've ever heard, like, so you know battle bots, right?
Ooh, yes, I love battle
stage
bots.
hazards? Basically that.
Oh,
like,
stage
hazards.
hazards.
But nothing too fancy, because like that would ruin the floor. But maybe it's like parts of like have like that like little rotating parts
you just
of
add
floor.
like hammers to the corner.
That like makes it, that'll make them sling around a little bit, give them more momentum. So
What
when
if
they go
like
over
maybe.
it,
yeah?
like
What
it's
if
either
like
loose, so when they go over it, it makes it spin, and then they turn. Or maybe it's motorized and spinning, and so when they touch it, it slings them off in a different direction.
yeah, like
No,
what if there were
yeah,
like rubber
absolutely.
bands on the side that would like maybe push the marble a bit into the other direction?
Yeah, that idea was, by the way, inspired from a YouTube series called Besiege Bots, which is basically
Besiege
battle
bots.
bots. But the battle bots
interesting.
basically made with the game Besiege, basically.
What's siege?
Besiege.
Besiege. What's besiege?
It's basically where you make. It's a game that is originally meant like where you make war machines to destroy towns and colonies and like castles and stuff. It's like a massive physics engine sort of thing, and basically a group of people came up with the idea of basically making battle bots with it.
Can you make like a
an arena
trebuchet?
and everything. It's a YouTube channel, by the
You
way.
just wanted to say that word trebuchet.
They hadn't uploaded in a while, but
Didn't
just because they moved to a new channel. I literally just found it as we're recording this. Besiege Bots is its own separate YouTube channel now, so.
I think this is the first time we're
interesting.
promoting another YouTube channel.
Well,
It's on our
Yeah,
own.
and it's not even Marble Sports. You know?
It has something to do with marbles because it's a relation to like an idea.
No, yeah, but like going back to the idea itself. Thank you, the real Alex from the YouTube chat, saying he loves the podcast and he listens to it while he cleans his room. Always great to hear. Clean that room, though. You know, clean that room indeed. You know,
It's always nice to have a clean room.
Make it nice and clean. Maybe roll some marbles around it. Get some Ranges energy up in there. But
I'm telling him
not
to clean my room as much as I'm telling that to myself, because
Yeah.
my room isn't always the cleanest, because I'm like,
mine's never the
I'll
cleanest.
know where my textbooks are, then I can't find them.
textbooks. I just don't know. I just don't.
When school
room's
was
just my
a
room,
thing,
man.
when school existed,
When school
I would
was
always
real.
lose
When
my...
we had to
when
remember
school
going
was
to school.
real.
Remember like seeing people.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. Oh, by the way, I hope everyone's staying safe out there. I know I didn't throw that into the
Yeah.
intro, but I hope you all stay safe during this time.
I'll
Time has not
watch
changed
like
yet,
YouTube
so
channels
stay
with
safe.
people next to each other, and I'll be like, wait, isn't that breaking the rules? Oh wait, that was years ago. I wish I could be with people again.
Another tangential thing I'll mention. This guy says M&H Racing is the first Marble channel he watched. Actually, great opportunity while we're here. The real Alex, I want you, while you're in the YouTube chat talking with us, I'm going to continue on with the other topic in just a second. I want you to rank M&H, Fubica, JMR. Rank them right now from best to worst.
No, come on.
This
Just
is
do
an
that,
obvious
and then we'll
answer,
talk
I
about
feel.
it. I just want to see what he has to say. Anyways, back to what you were saying, Wolf. I 100% agree that a slight change to the stage would be the best. I want. And even like you guys were saying, it does not have to be big, and it shouldn't be big. It shouldn't be like, oh my god, let's slope the thing down or throw some giant spinners all over. That's okay, Alex. Take your time. Throw things all over the place. But just like, maybe, throwing a couple of those rubber banded things, like you said, to propel the marbles in just a random part, or maybe just building into the aesthetic a slight ridge
What if the
or something
platform
on the.
vibrated a bit?
It would have to be very minimal because
Like
little bits of vibration.
random
Those marbles
intervals, it
are
would just like start
surprisingly
shaking.
light. It would cause a lot more disruption than you might think. It would have to
ball
vibrate
bearings would
very
Exactly.
fall,
minimally.
dominoes would fall over. It's like, but
And,
anyways,
yeah.
let's talk about the event itself. That ending, like just as we talked about earlier, about how like a random moment can define how good an event is seen by the rest of the community, and I feel
Right.
like that ending, like with like the double tie, is that defining moment.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, that was
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. That was a beautiful moment in Marble Sports. I loved the single marble collision at the end.
Have
it
we
was
had
kinda,
one?
I was
yeah,
wondering
sorry.
what was going to happen with that, because it's just one collision. I didn't know if they were both going to go off at the same time, but
Yeah, I have
no,
to ask.
they clutched to the side with their life on the
it was
line and
kind
they
of
were able to make the
anticlimactic.
win.
You know, I wanted to see them slam into each other and then spin, and then one of them just slip through the gap and fall off.
Well-
you know, but it was kind of anticlimactic to the sense that, you know, they could have just glanced off each other, and one of them went out the other side.
What do you think
know,
they would have
kinda
done if it tied again? Just like do with no marbles?
They would just
Like half a marble?
do it with no marbles.
Half a marble.
Well, I feel like I'm curious. Like, have we ever had a one-on-one happen like this before?
I don't think so.
I remember 2-on-2, but I don't think there's ever been a one-on-one.
No, there's
That's
never
like the
been a one-on-one.
ultimate showdown.
That's a great trivia, by the way. When was the only one-on-one?
I'm not going to go through every single Marble Olympics to find that out.
Well, I
need.
guess you don't have to because I'm doing it.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
well, while you're doing that, I'll address Alex's ranking here. So this guy ranked Marble Sports channels in his opinion. His opinion is, of course, as good as anybody else's opinion, of course. For himself, of course, opinion. And he didn't rank just as 3. He ranked actually 7. So we will go through those. Number 1, I guess this would be the best, is JMR. Is there any argument with that?
No.
Not
Opinion or
really.
not?
I have
Come
no
on.
objections.
JMR's the best. There are Fubeca
None.
fans who say Fubeca is better. Because I don't know why. Someone had there are some people in the Fubeca Discord who have who sent like a really large explanation, being like, oh, well, Fubeca does this. I don't know what they're talking about. But
Why does there have
objectively,
to
I
be
think
war
JMR...
between marble channels?
I don't know. I
I
don't
don't
understand
know.
the whole war thing. But he said JMR's number 1. Now, where it breaks with me, Waffs, and probably everybody, Wolves as well, opinion would be the fact that he put M and H at 2.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I can see that.
is surprising.
Huh. I
It's
haven't
odd,
watched
but
more
I
than
can
the few
agree
I've seen,
with
so I
why
can't,
he would say
couldn't judge
that.
it. I've only
That is-
seen his worst races, so I have no idea what. Assumedly M&H's worst races, so I have no idea actually what his best is. But
I like his
was not
approach
impressed
to
enough.
Marble Sports. I don't know if it's the best
I
out of
do
like in
not
a
like
ranking
M&H's
system.
approach to Marble Sports. I have to be quite honest. And for this guy, M&H was the first one he ever watched, so the nostalgia is big for him, and I 100% understand that. In my opinion, M&H is lackluster compared to a lot of the other channels, and their commentary is not great. But it's your opinion, and they're not bad, so it's not like, oh my god, putting like some crappy Al Gadou second. You know what I'm saying? I get that. It's fine.
I mean, it can get boring
number,
at times,
Number
but
3
it's
for this
pretty
guy was
standard.
MFA. MFA's channel was number
Ooh.
3.
I
So
haven't actually
shout out
heard
to
from him in a
MFA
while.
out there. He's our half host on this podcast. He's a great guy, and apparently
I thought I was the half host.
This guy's a huge. Well, he's the backup half host. So I was just trying to hype him up a little bit because he got ranked 3rd. I'm hyping him up. All right, can you hype him up too, Wolves? Come on, give him a hype real quick. Give him some hype.
Yay. I do like his channel though because I got to speak in it as a marble, and I don't know how often he posts because I haven't checked up on it in a while. But I think it's unique in his way. Like he doesn't like overdo it in any way. It's just nice, plain, and humble. With other ones, I see other marble channels that will try to like hype it up overly to the point where it's not even fun anymore. It actually just makes it seem more basic, and I just like the simplicity of what he does.
Yeah. I will say simplicity's best.
So I'm looking back at 2019's collision.
Sidetrack
There was-
it again. Go ahead, Waff.
Sorry, I didn't even know. But so in quarterfinals A, Raspberry Racers and Balls of Chaos tied with 1-1 each, but then they tied again with 0-0, and then it says 1-2. So did they get like all of their marbles back in 2019?
They scored it differently back then, so that would be. It used
that's not
back
points.
then.
That's
It was
the marbles on
scored
the field.
based on marbles fall
Yeah.
off. So 1-1 back then was 4 marbles stayed on from both teams, and then 4 marbles
Oh.
stayed on again from both teams, and then 3 stayed on from one, and 2 stayed on from the other.
Oh, so the point was like, okay, so that means
Yeah.
okay.
They had weird point
I
system
get
back
you.
then. They kind of switched it afterwards, which made a lot of sense. But I
so-
do remember the point switch system.
So it's like
Okay,
a
and then
3-3.
back to this guy's ranking. Fubeca is 4th on his ranking, understandable. Fubeca, in my opinion, is 2nd. Even though Fubeca is Fubeca, and I have problems with Fubeca. As far as quality goes, if I look at marble circuits, some of the unique events he used to do, even though he didn't have an organization in tournaments, I will agree with Alex. He's kind of all over the place, or at least was. Marble circuits was decent. Glasscar, the upcoming Glasscar preview looks really good. We will.
I like
touch on
how
that in a
many
moment.
I like how he diversifies like the kinds of marble sports that he does, as well as you get to commentate in it, which is a bonus because not all marble sports have commentary.
Not indeed. Yeah, and so this guy says, Brendan, you were better than Greg Woods. What are you saying, man? Okay, Alex,
You should take
listen.
That should make the highlight of your day, dude. That is
that is the highlight of the day, but I almost feel like blasphemic to say that. I mean, Alex, I really appreciate the appreciation of my commentary, but I mean, Greg Woods is Greg Woods, man. I look at Greg Woods, I listen to Greg Woods, and I'm like, that person is the quintessence of a perfect commentary. So people do say, I will say this, people have said that because we have different styles, me and Greg Woods, we have a similar style in some respect, but we have different styles in the respect. I hit my mic. I hit it. We have different styles in respect that I get a little bit more excitably, almost like the Marble E guy, whoever the Marble E commentator was, that guy, I forget his name. I get more like him during the races, while Greg Woods is more like relaxed and like throws in the perfect comment at the perfect time.
Yeah, commentators have their different kinds of
people who want that like
Jason.
that build up over the course of the whole race to this really climactic, almost screaming as loud as they can point, especially in a couple of the races in Marble Circus. That's how I kind of got. So it's a different style. Alex,
I think your style's like a mix
you were like
of
a mix of
relaxed and
Ricochet, Bucky Ryan, and Greg. That's hilarious. I will agree that there are bits of each. But
Small
okay, back to
traits
your
embedded
ranking
in
though.
with you.
Yeah,
he says MSW podcast is number 5. Sorry, I just want to get through his ranking. He says MSW podcast is number 5 after feedback. I appreciate that.
You got to get that started up again.
Excitement. I'm hoping he means the podcast. The Algodoo was great, but it only lasted for a short time. And then he said toy racing is afterwards. So that's his ranking. So not a bad ranking. It's interesting to see the rankings.
So I finished looking through. There's never been a one-on-one collision.
I was correct. Praise me for actually getting an answer right.
No, yeah, good job.
Thank you.
And that's actually great trivia for the future. That the Craven Dome Dale collision was the first one to ever have a
Craven
1v1.
Craven Domadale.
Yeah.
Craven Dome.
Yeah, I was just about to do the Dimmadome thing.
You guys are.
I stole
you guys
your
are
thunder,
so
Wolf.
Philly, man. You guys are so Philly. Philly. What? All right. But anyway, guys, we are reaching close
like
to the end here.
right
We're
now.
about 51 minutes.
What? Dang. Okay.
But if we add the intro, it's like plus Johnny Marble. It's probably about an hour right now.
Yes. I know that.
Okay, I
I'm
just
just
wanted to
talking
make sure
about
you knew.
the bulk of the podcast. I like I kind of look when we do the recording. I mean, I guess I'll explain this to everybody out there. When I do the recording, I kind of like to wrap things up on the bulk recording at about an hour, so the podcast don't go over about hour and 15. But yeah, we're getting closer to the end. So the last thing we haven't covered yet, which actually this has been a great show so far. Last thing we have not covered yet is reactions. If you guys happen to see it, to the preview of Glasscar, we actually saw some interesting things. So you guys have any initial reactions, or you want me to kind of talk about it a little bit more?
I mean, I don't have any reaction. I it's just like, okay, it's finally coming. We can finally see what it's gonna be about, how good it's gonna be. I'm just like, we've been waiting a while, and I want to see it. I want to talk about it. So I got nothing. The trailer doesn't really do anything for me. I'm just like, show.
Yeah, I agree. One thing though, we did get to see in the trailer. I know we have a lot of delay. And by the way, part of the delay, I think, is something to do with the quarantine situation, making it hard for him to order the marbles. But him to order the marbles. Me? Did I say me or him? It takes a long time for him to order the marbles and stuff with the whole quarantine thing going on. So that's a part of the delay. But the preview did have some interesting things. We actually got to see a marble rolling on the new track, and it looks very wide, very beautiful. I'm excited to see how the different dynamic of such a wide track and a slightly bigger marbles will roll out. See what I did there? Roll out in the racing, because
Dude.
it's just going to be interesting. There's a lot of new possibilities here. When the track is so wide, there's going to be possibilities of 3, 4, 5 marbles all next to each other at once or close to it, and I don't know, getting to see the track, you got a really small glimpse, if you look closely, of how that propulsion system works, and it shoots that marble. It shoots it very, very far.
It reminds me of
very,
like
very fast.
the Hot Wheels toy, where like it spins really fast and then like just launches it, or as like a football
that's
launcher.
What the concept is based off of. It just on the top and bottom instead of the right and left, or side to side, whatever.
At first, when I saw the video, I was like, "What? How's it doing that? That's witchcraft."
It looks so cool. I think he had like a top and a bottom roller, like Waf said, and it kind of spinning really fast and shoot it out. So it was very well done, and I will say that was at least good effort on that part. And you actually saw an update on the video as far as editing goes. There's definitely a little bit more professional looking editing in that video, probably a step up because of JMR's step up on their side. So you're going to see, hopefully in the actual videos, a little boost of content appealability. If that's a word, I don't know. If it is, I don't know.
Appealability.
So
I think it's a word.
I'm really excited. Listen, I'm really excited. I can't wait to do commentary for it. I love doing that. I love doing that so much. And I also love the experience I'm gaining from it, getting better at it. It's always perfect when you just do commentary, the feeling of it, and then you have some exciting moments during the race that are perfect timed, and you say the right words. Oh, it's the best. So I'm just so excited. I'm so excited for Glasscar. So excited for the upcoming Marble League 2020, and hopefully, even along with the very much increased editing ability in the JMR world, I hope we actually have a continued increase in creativity, variation of events, and overall decoration there. So I'm hoping the stories for both Marble Sports continue to unfold here in the upcoming Marble Sports competition. So that's my thoughts on that, everybody. Also, I still fail to understand why the Cravendale thing's called Last Marble Standing when there has been no marbles eliminated. So all 6 teams are going to make it through the whole thing without being cut away, which means that it doesn't even make sense to be called Last Marble Standing, because all of them are going to be standing at the end. Just some will be
just break the marbles except for one.
Have more points than others. I don't understand the Last Marble Standing name. Someone explain it to me.
It's supposed to be some kind of like plan where it's like it's a showdown of like all these marbles battling, like there'll only be one winner.
But last standing usually means that there's ones like being cut off. Like I would loved the Cravendale Cup if a team was cut off each episode. And with the fact that there were only 6 events and 6 teams, it would have been perfect. Or whatever. Or maybe like for the first 3 events no one's cut out, but then 2 teams are cut off each time in the last few. I don't know, just something like that. Because that would have spiced it up.
Of a Last Marble Standing.
Well, what did he say?
You just like break the legs of the marbles so there's only one standing.
That's ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous. Marble legs.
No, Waf, that's a word that I will ban.
You're gonna ban marble legs?
Marble legs.
You just said it yourself. You said a word that you thought you'd
Standing
banned.
is one big ad. Yes, it is, live chat. Absolutely one giant frickin' ad. I do appreciate the fact that milk lasts 7 days. All right? That's a lot of days for that milk. So I really want to try some, Team Purity milk, But, yes, it is one big ad.
2%.
You gotta cut them a break. You gotta cut them a break. They've run into 1 million sponsors here. How can they go for a little bit of ad revenue here? I mean, how could they not? How could you not? All right, it is what it is.
It's crazy to see how they've evolved to actually have sponsors now.
No, yeah, it is crazy. Actually, they had sponsors as far as like a couple years back, but it was
but
never
like
as big
as a kid, I remember watching it for the first time and just being like, "Whoa, this is cool!" Because my ADHD ass was like interested in everything, and then I saw marbles moving as if they were people, and I was hooked. And I would have never thought that I'd be on a podcast talking about it.
Well, I never thought either. It's kind of crazy that it's all here.
Like, it's all just so surreal for me.
Surreal indeed. Oh, and just wait until MarbleCon 2025 rolls around. Rolls around. See what we did that, Ricochet? But it rolls around, and we're all there, standing at like a big tent with like marbles in it, and we're like, wow, this is a MarbleCon. I don't know what happens at a MarbleCon. What do you
I think
do?
you just like talk
Marble
about
stuff?
marbles and stuff. Like you wear marble cosplay, like you're red number 3. Maybe you're the
red number
limers. Brennan can dress
Maybe
up as the
the
limers.
You go as Momo with a cast and in a crutch.
Well,
That would be
if
top
MarbleCon
tier
happens, you
cosplay
gotta
right
do
there.
that. You really have to do that. You gotta be the guy that does that.
I've mentioned that before. I was like, if we go, I might do it. Like I'll get like a green shirt, like in.
We should all just like dress up as our marble profiles.
Live chat. roasting.
MarbleCon would be a huge moneymaker. Absolutely. By the way, sorry, I'm just responding to a live chat situation again. Yeah, absolutely, it would be. Oh man, people would buy their favorite competitor 3 times over. You know, they would buy anything. They just buy things. If you're there, you're just like, oh my god, MarbleCon, buy. And merchandise would be like important, and I don't know, it would be crazy.
You get like replicas of actual teams.
Exactly. I don't know.
You get
I
to
just
meet
think
the
it would be so
sponsors.
cool. It would be so cool. You know, it would be so cool. Oh my god, it would be so cool if custom marbles were made that had the logo of each team etched into the competitors, so that it could really specialize the actual marbles competing. If that happened, that, in my opinion, would in its own way take marble sports to the next level. Because then these marbles are branded. You know, and even if they've got their names etched into them, and then like there is only one Kinowin, there is only one Sublime, even though he loses, there's still only one of them. Like, you know, that would be crazy, and it's so easy. I think it would be very. I don't know if it's so easy.
We
but it
have
would
to
be
set up a
relatively easy to get
MarbleCon
them
one
custom.
day. It'll probably
we
have to be
will.
online
We will.
because I don't know if anybody
No,
can
it
set
wouldn't be
up something
online.
like
It would
that.
be. It would definitely be in-person thing. You'd have to travel a little bit. But you know what? It's MarbleCon. How could you?
Where would
miss
they
it?
host it?
Probably
I don't know.
What country is he living in again?
The Netherlands?
I'm planning to be involved in that
Denmark.
planning. So,
No, not Denmark. That's Bionicle.
I think it's in the Netherlands.
Uh,
I think he's Dutch.
what?
I might be wrong.
no, he's Dutch. Yeah, I think it would be held either in his country or in America, or one in America, one there. I don't know. It would be like it would have to be worked out. But it
MarbleCon
definitely would
Australia.
be there or in America, or maybe both, because there would be no other place that would be sensible to hold that. You know.
I wonder if I could, if there was a real MarbleCon, I wonder if I could beg my parents to make me go.
To make you
make
go?
you
You
go.
mean to let you go?
to let me go.
No, I'm hoping that if it happened in 2025, it would be annual, or at least biannual. Well, I mean, it's 2025, so you'd be older then. Like by the time, well, at least for me, when I'm 2025, I'll be an adult with an adult thing. So
I'll be an adult by that time.
But you'll be
I could
like, what are you,
"See
like
ya.
15 now?
I'm gonna go talk about marbles.
Something like that. You'd be an adult man. You could just get on a plane and just go.
How many people would show up to that?
Well,
I'm gonna
who
guess
knows,
maybe
like-
I don't know.
3%,
I think it
5%?
really depends on how many people are watching. Again, they have 1.2 million subscribers, but they're still not pulling nearly that many views on the videos again. So, which is crazy to think about. But
it's just us.
I
the
did
only
say
ones
that
that
one
show
time,
up.
Alex. I did say I'd swim if I had to. No. But there would be a lot of people. I bet you. I think that you would get about 10,000 people at least. You get 10,000.
That's a pretty good amount. That's worth.
Because
making
think about it.
MarbleCon.
Because think about it. A MarbleCon would not just be about JMR.
It's like all
If
Marble
I was
sports.
involved in the plan of MarbleCon, like I've talked about this before, I would have JMR as that definitely a central focus, but also other smaller Marble channels that applied and won to be there with their own booths of advertising and being like, oh wow, look at what we do, and I would have. I think there would be like this would be something where you would plan competitions and stuff to happen there, where like there would be different activities you could do. I have a bunch of ideas on that, but can't really go into that all right now. But like and like there would be chances for people, because there's a whole community of people who's into marbles but not marble sports, so there'd be a whole place for them to like be into marbles and shit.
Make your own
to, like,
marble.
Look at them. And there'd be
Panel.
there'd be marble makers, like House of Marbles and stuff.
I don't know
I'm
if you
sure love
guys
that.
have Legoland.
It would be huge.
Right? Who's
I
been
think
to
there is a
Legoland?
Legoland in America.
No.
All right,
I
yeah,
think there
because
might be.
I've been to Legoland, where I'm from. There's one pretty close, but I've gone there and they have like build your own like Lego car and like you race them against other people. What if you had that? Like you got to choose a marble and you got to race them against other people.
Well, yeah,
and then there'd be
you could like
prizes
buy
and stuff.
marbles and like race them and stuff. And I think it would be cool if
You add
you
mods
kinda,
to your marble. I don't think that's possible, but that'd be pretty cool.
It would be interesting. So we're going to wrap it up here. Looking over to our live chat, Fubica enemy to JMR, MNH equals enemy M's? I don't know.
Enemy M's?
JMR does
What?
not... I think JMR dislikes MNH more than they dislike Fubica, to be honest, because of what happened like 2 years ago with MNH.
I hope everybody's chill with everybody.
And they also dislike MSPN more than... Oh, you didn't even put MSPN in your ranking list. To me, they're in the top 5.
Yeah, MSPN's pretty
They
chill.
dislike
I like
MSPN
them.
pretty bad, too. JMR does not like them for what... And for a weird reason, but that's a different story. And
to generalize it to say the whole channel is invalid.
JMR. No, I'm not saying it's invalid. I'm saying JMR, like Dion, really.
It's just it's just Dion.
yeah.
Like, I feel like we've talked.
But Dion is Dion. Okay, he's from
Dion
this
is
channel.
Dion.
All right, Dion is like really the deciding factor because Dion could just delete the channel tomorrow if he wanted to. He won't, but
I hope he doesn't do that. That would be sad.
No, yeah, they're not consistent. I agree, but like I don't know. And then JMR now doesn't like Fubica because Fubica's Fubica.
Fubica.
Remember, the guy doesn't speak English, right? All right, anyway, that's enough of the podcast today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. You can come in again next week if you enjoyed all that. If you've gotten this far, you probably enjoyed, so come again next week. Don't forget to, subscribe to the YouTube and that kind of stuff.
Subscribble.
Subscribble and sub-dribble. Sub-roll. Just roll over to that subscribe button. Raspberry Race over to that subscribe button. Savage Speed over to that subscribe button. Snowball over to that subscribe button. And let's throw one more in there.
Cut.
Range to that. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, that's enough of that. So we're done. Say your thing, Wop.
Roll on, Marvel sports fans.